and Conduit is coming out with a new standard. We currently signed on with Easy Pass 2.16, and the MTA and Conduit is now proposing they're going up to 2.40A. And there's been a lot of weekly meetings and that sort of thing going back and forth to get it going. We believe it's going to be implemented first or second week of December. It really doesn't impact us as much as far as what we do as capabilities, but we still have to spend money and things like that to keep up with the requirements of being part of that affiliate.
And just that change alone, I think, was like 77,000 just to do the upgrade, and there will be upgrades every year to align with MTA.
That's one of those things where we cannot just say, well, we're going to stay with 2.16, because when we basically, just to make it real simple, we take our transactions, we record them, we send our transactions to Conduit processing, and they send us the acknowledgement file. If we don't meet that standard, they can't understand us, they can't process our, so we have to keep up with whatever standards they push down.
Makes sense. Okay.
Okay, so that, with completion of that project, we have capability to, read plates. That'll be a well received by the Nassau County Police Department and other law enforcement agencies in the need for the request of vehicles traveling back and forth.
Yeah, that's nice if someone
Finding bad guys.
too.
Yeah.
And we have the plate.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We had an archaic system, as everybody knows, so now we're right there. We have the best. I touched on winter weather prep a little earlier, but regarding snow, we have our salt fully stocked. We're ready for the winter. The previous administration had entered into that agreement with State DOT where we gave them as much salt as they needed during snow operations. They paved the driveway for us. It was not a good agreement for us. That agreement has been concluded, so that's done. So we'll have what we need, and we won't have to keep our fingers crossed in a snow event. And we bought a new plow for one of the pickup trucks. They didn't have the right plow. We inherited this. They didn't have the right plow for one of the pickup trucks, so we bought the right unit.
Yeah, we mounted all of our plows on sander. We tested everything. We did a couple of runs with them, so we look good. We should be ready to go.
Yeah.
Great.
And in-house project savings, Christian. You have a chart?
Yes, we do, page 25. What did we add? So you want to go up extra?
Yeah, so we just had this month in November, obviously we turned the heat on in the building, so normally we call a service for that, where you could have your boiler cleaned out, etc. Demetriou, did plumbing for 20 years before he got here. He has all the knowledge on. We cleaned out, he changed solenoids on, changed thermostats. It was pretty good savings we had there. I just want to show on that.
The grading installation?
Or the grading installation for the LPR.
Yeah, so they did, grading installation for the license plate readers, so I think the cost of that was $3,000.
In materials, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know how we're gonna determine how much savings that is. We can call to get other quotes, but we definitely saved a lot by doing it in-house.
And we just fabricated all the brackets in order to basically not create a tripping hazard on the plaza. There's a conduit that runs for these LPR readers, and it's a quite a big conduit, and it blends in. It's great. So naturally, somebody would trip on it. We installed these step grading, so the snow will fall right through them, and not create a tripping hazard on the plaza.
And you're stepping on a safe grading instead of a piece of cable, section of cable.
And then I also added the water main on the bridge property.
Yeah, so we're starting to look into the project that we talked about for getting irrigation for for the helipad area and all that. Yeah, we have some challenges because of the newly paved county road there. Liberty's telling us that we can't open the road there. So we're working around some ways that we could missile a line underneath from an area where the road is not new. Do a tap there, bury a pit, and then missile underneath and get our line across so we can feed that area, which I'm hoping we can do.
We can do that?
I don't know, I'm looking into it. I'll find out.
It's been so dry on the southern and southwestern end there, all that landscaping was done.
Yeah.
It looks like some of it has dried up
Yeah.
and will need to be replaced, but we definitely need to get more water down there.
Yeah, we're working on it.
The project on the eastern side, right? So
Summer drought didn't help, landings.
it's been very dry.
Yeah.
So,
And then the last thing I added on this list was the landscaping services. So Mark was able to get a quote from someone. So our crew does it during business hours, so there's really no cost for that. And then it would have been 57,000 if we were to use an outside company, but that's kind of like the bare minimum also, like, maybe once a week. They're not gonna edge like maybe once a month.
And it's only for a shorter season,
For
too. They're not doing it
yeah.
as long as we're maintaining. Yeah.
okay, great. Great work. Thank you, Mark.
I probably missed my.
Okay, holiday season operations, although this year, for the first time, 80% of our vehicular traffic is 80+% is Easy Pass. So we still have the cash customers and credit card customers. So we'll make sure everything is staffed out Thanksgiving weekend, 2 days before through Sunday night, and Christmas falls and Hanukkah fall in the middle of the week. So that 2-week period, make sure we're fully staffed to meet the traffic demands. Fire department lease, I guess we can speak a little bit more to this in executive session. I just want to review that lease, that long-term lease we have at the time.
Okay.
And we also engaged the Great Assistance Department in Hanover. They collected 3 cost proposals or bids for a full survey. All our records destroyed during Hurricane Sandy. We have no paper, we have nothing to fall back on. Nothing electronic either. So Tarsi came back, got us 3 reputable survey companies, and we comparing apples to apples. All 3, we have 3 proposals. The lowest qualified bidder being $75,800, the highest being $147,700. Pretty much it covers soup to nuts. Did you get a chance to? Yeah, it's got everything we need. I mean, everything from
utilities,
everything's marked out. It's everything we asked, and storm drains and where they run out to, and it's
All the
wiring
and locating all of our electric and everything.
curbs and the whole bit. It's comprehensive, and so I would like the consideration of a motion to vote on expense of $75,800 for a comprehensive facility
I
project.
think I'll make a motion since I was harping on this the first day I came.
Yeah.
I make the motion. All in favor? Aye.
And again, we verified the company too. They have good references, Port Authority and State Dormitory. Okay, thank you for that. And that, for now, that completes my piece. And Bob, engineering?
In terms of the spare parts inventory, I know Mark has been continuing to get spare parts. We're in it. What do you have to go on?
So mechanically, I mean, I did a second round of ordering, which were basically duplicate parts, for another expense of $5,000 or $6,000. So I'm getting closer. I'm narrowing it down. So I just ordered another round. I'm waiting. I received a few things already. I have some things in shipping, so I'm getting closer. Little by little.
Big ticket item that has to be fabricated, found they sourced somebody new, that's down in Brooklyn?
Tamco.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Stewart Machine look at it first. We thought the pressure was very high.
Is that
They got it out.
bar actuated?
Yeah, the thruster.
Yeah.
They're down in Alabama. They have to ship the part. It's a big expense with that. Tamco's involved. So we have used Tamco before at Hardesty and Hanover a lot. They're a reputable firm. So we'll get a price from them as well, and we'll see how it compares with what Stewart had.
We were just working on our 6-month maintenance on Tuesday and Wednesday, where we service all of its parts, the lock, thruster, greasing them and making sure that everything's operating, good condition. 6 month is extensive. We pull covers on all of our couplings or any kind of gearing and everything, and it's a full thorough check. The guys were, in every crevice of any kind of mechanical area of the bridge, checking everything, and we look good. We operated it many times after that, and everything was going good.
So how many more items are we waiting on? Just the stuff to be fabricated, or have the bulk of this in store ready? It's in storage here?
I have in a closet, a bulk of gearing parts and electrical parts, all of the electrical parts we did receive. I mean, it wouldn't be as much as you think,
Right.
you know, boxing everything and in that nature. We're still gonna, you know, we haven't built the closet to, you know, to organize everything 100%. We're working on it.
Okay.
Waiting for the winter months when we're inside and working on the stuff we've been doing outside.
Great project. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's good.
And just to go back to one of the public speakers earlier about, you know, how we're spending our money, when we started looking at the manufacturer's suggested maintenance program for the nuts and bolts of the drawbridge, they recommended the monthly inspection, including parts replacement, a 6-month, a quarterly, a 6-month, and an annual. And unfortunately, the previous administration was not doing any of those, you know, with any conscientious approach, without a conscientious approach. So we're starting to do that, and that's expense. And we just started with the monthlies, and we're doing that all in-house. But there's some things that need to be done. We had that little issue in the summer, and we weren't aligned up with the teeth, you know, with the expansion teeth. So we want to stay ahead of that.
The electrical
Electrical inspection.
3-month electrical
Right.
inspection that.
Right.
Inside both of those motor areas.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is beyond us, beyond our.
Right now, we have an issue with the gates. Recently, we've had some wind gusts, 25, 30 plus. And
Of course, they're happening after midnight, so we eliminated the bridge operated tour. We don't have anybody up in the tower. It ended in duties 25, 7 days a week. Now it's only 8 to 4 and 4 to 12 shifts, 7 days a week. So if wind knocks those gates down in the middle of the night, we have a gate down and nobody up there to correct it.
So what happens, it moves the gate enough to signal
The signal-
the signal limit switch inside, which turns our lights red,
Right.
right?
And people-
So traffic says, okay, stop. The gates don't come down, but our gong is going off. Dun, 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 dun.
Unless the cord snaps, then it gets.
And there's no way to shut it off without the operator coming in, getting up there, dropping all the gates, and then resetting them and bringing them back up.
So we've been keeping, if we know there's high winds, we've been keeping somebody around just to monitor that, but we're working on that now. Hank has been involved with the LPR, working for Trimmy on the LPR installations, but they're gonna return to us next week and start to.
Bob, is there anything that you need to see, like from videos that you couldn't see prior to them videotaping everything?
No, I'm pretty up to date on it, because we do the inspections, and I see the reports, and I see the pictures, and I see the descriptions, I know it's fine. I know what's out there, so. Anything that the drone can get to, we normally get to, with our sniffer trucks and vehicles and everything, to get access.
Anything else, Bob?
Yeah, for the bulkhead project, I think we're pretty well set on direction that we need to go with it. So I'm going to work with Hardesty and Hanover, I have talking to them. We're gonna try and put an RFP document together for the design phase. I'd like to split the design into 2 phases, one being a brief study, just to give the options between bulkhead and bench back pipe riprap and a cost, and maybe a chart with pros and cons, so that the board can look at that, see what the costs are, see what the service life is, because bulkheads do have a finite service life, although the materials they use now are a lot better than the timber that they used previously. But they do have a finite life. You have to replace them every 40 years, 50 years. Whereas the bench back riprap is kind of a permanent solution that you really shouldn't have any issues with unless you have a monster storm come in and give you a problem, scour or wash out. But at least you'll have it on paper. You see what it costs for the bench back riprap, what it costs for the bulkhead, we can make a decision, you know, based on that. I think the riprap is perfect around the whole field.
Yeah.
I think for the stretches underneath the bridge on both the north and south side, I think you really have to go back with bulkhead in those areas, because you just don't have enough to chip that.
We have the property where the field is, so it's not, it just seems like a perfect match to do it. Although you want to do, it's good to see the options.
Right, right. And then also, you know, the problems with putting in a bulkhead, like the overhead clearance with the piles of the bridge, how would we do that, what kind of piles do we use? That would all be part of the study up front.
Great, that's great.
And then once we make a decision, then they can hit the ground running with,
Yeah.
you know, the design documents, so that's kind of the plan.
Okay, that's good. And the, work from the county on the culvert doesn't have an impact on this, right?
No.
It's far enough away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there'll be a little bit of overlap on that corner, but we can stage it so that, you know, we're away from them. We have to see how it works out with the design, like the contract, as opposed to what's going on with that project. Which I don't think right now they have the schedule for.
No.
So,
How about like lead time for permitting, like EPA and county and town?
the big permit is going to be environmental. In my experience here, when we did bulkheads in the past, it takes about 6 months for them to process a permit. And if you stay on them, you can get it done a little sooner. But I would say 6 months. So once we know what we're gonna do, artist or whoever gets the contract can put together some sketches, and then they fill out the application form, send it in to the DEP, and then they review it, and if they have any questions, they come back, and you get that out, you know, right in the beginning. You don't have to have a full design. So you get that out, let those guys review it, put the permit, you know, together, and then when the designer's doing the design, when he's finished, hopefully you have a permit, and then you can go out for bid.
Okay. And it just reminded me, on the southern end, you should speak to, the Village of Atlantic Beach, government, mayor and the Board of Trustees regarding the bulkheading on the end of Acapulco Street.
Right.
Or a tie-in to that and see if there's something we can work with them, because it looks like there's some, leakage of property on the end of that.
They have some issues there, yeah.
Now they have some,
Well, maybe they want to tack it onto this project and
they want,
somehow fund you guys to do it.
all right, okay. All right, so we should.
So I'll reach out to them. I mean,
Reach out to those folks and do that, so.
trustee.
Okay, excellent. All right. Anything else, Bob?
No.
Awesome, good. Okay. Wonderful. Ray, anything else to cover before executive session?
That's it.
All right, so, I will ask for a motion to go into executive session at this point.
To discuss matters of personnel.
Discuss matters of personnel. Thank you, Council. So motion, second, all in agreement? Aye.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
Okay, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy